If you love movies and movie discussions, you've come to the right place. Who am I, you ask? I am the Wiz, and I'm here today with...
Kim Shactman.
Kim, how are you today? And happy Halloween.
Yes, happy belated Halloween.
Yeah, well, whatever. Happy. It's over. That's all I care about.
Wiz doesn't like Halloween.
I'm
fine with it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
In all fairness, I think we discussed this before.
Yes.
I don't mind it. Like, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. It's Halloween. But it's like the adults that I know who are like, oh my God. I'm like, oh God, leave me alone. Those are the people I'm like, ugh, God.
So did you get trick-or-treaters?
Oh, not as much as we have in the past, but we did, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, before we jump into today's review,
okay,
we had a great Halloween. We went to our friend's house and we passed out candy to literally probably at least 100 trick-or-treaters. There were so many children. Oh. And let me tell you, here in the Granite State, we scared the shit out of those kids. Which sounds mean, but... Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. Well, my brother dressed up as Chucky. But he looked like a bloated Chucky. He had a big head on him with the mask and everything. The kids were freaking out, and then his girlfriend was the girl from The Ring. You've seen that movie, right?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty freaky. She did a good job with it. The kids were freaked out. They were calling us the house that was alive. We
are here to review the 1993 children's film Hocus Pocus, starring Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathleen Najimy, directed by Kenny Ortega. I think one of the things we're going to talk about most is going to be basically nostalgia, because this is a film, and we discussed this before we recorded. This is the film that was on constant rotation, not only on TV, but also on the Disney Channel, and especially during Halloween. So this is something that was constantly on. And, of course, I have never seen a lick of this until yesterday. So
funny. I'm like, really? Come on. I'm just giving you a hard time about not seeing popular films.
Look, to be fair with me on my end on this, okay? One, I didn't get really into films until I was 13 or 14. And two, I have taste.
Oh, shut up. You're going to offend a lot of people when you say that about Hocus Pocus.
I know, I'm kidding.
Goddamn classic.
I'm kidding. Okay. But anyway, that and I did not have Disney Channel at all when I was younger. We didn't get Disney Channel until I was 19 around.
Well, I didn't either, but we rented the movie.
Oh, well, okay.
We go to Blockbuster.
Oh. You've seen this before, so...
I've seen this so many times. I think I watch it every year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that. So what exactly makes you nostalgic about this film?
I mean, again, when I was a kid, it was kind of just always on TV, once it finally came out of Disney's bucket of being Disney type of deal. So it was always on, and then everyone at school used to talk about it as a child, oh my God, I love that movie, blah, 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 the witches and da-da-da-da. And it's nostalgic for me because it was taped in Salem, Massachusetts. And I have a strong connection to Salem, Massachusetts. My mother was from Beverly, Mass., which is right next to Salem. We used to go there a lot. As a teenager, I worked in Salem, Mass. during Halloween at a costume shop.
Oh, God.
Which was very interesting. But nowadays, I don't even go near that city around Halloween because it's insane. So I have a tie to, the film and where it was shot, I guess you could say. And again, just a lot of people around me when I was a child, even my husband, who obviously I didn't know as a child, is really likes this movie, and he's a man's man, So it's
oh, God.
It's just interesting. And everyone around me, all my friends, even some of my friends, boyfriends and husbands, oh yeah, we put the kids in front of the TV and watch Hocus Pocus for Halloween. I forgot how much I love that movie.
Oh, so the bad taste is regional, is what you're saying?
Oh, shut up!
I'm kidding.
It is not. It's such a cute film. It's cute. It's not, it's not up to par for Wiz. But it's cute.
Nothing ever is.
That's right. Only perfection.
That's
for
right.
him. But yeah, I don't know. I just have a tie to it. I think. Oh, another tie I have is that Midler was my mother's favorite actress and singer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. So I watch it and I think of her and I'm like, oh, she's great. I like her.
Yeah. Well, that's cute. Okay. Yeah. So now that we know why your opinion is so colored in such a bad way, let's get to the review of Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
Directed by Kenny Ortega. So we kind of know already what you think of the movie, correct?
Yeah, I mean, from like a, writing, directing, from like a, I don't know, like like how it was shot and everything like that, like, I wouldn't say it's like top notch, but from a nostalgic standpoint, I do enjoy the film.
Right, and I get that, and I know some of you are going to be like, Wiz, it's a kid's movie, really? You're going to go on this one? Yeah,
I mean, like, it is and it isn't.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to those things. We'll get to those things.
I was like, he's going to dive deep into
that my
shit.
God. But,
it's on now.
Yeah, like, this is about as standard as they come when it comes to Disney movies. I think the only thing that really differentiates it from the rest of them, like First Kid, Angels in the Outfield, The Mighty Ducks, is that this is specifically themed to Halloween. And I think that's kind of why this film is so popular. Yeah. Because, it is nostalgic. They don't make Disney films like this anymore, really.
And it's directed at one season.
Right.
Like one holiday, I mean.
And I think more and more nowadays, it's a very popular season. So I get why people are nostalgic for this. But let me just reiterate this. It is the same standard formula as all the other films like this from the Walt Disney Studios in the 90s. Like, they had a plethora of, like, kids movies, like, every year. Like, First Kid, Jungle the Jungle. They had, like, a few of them with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Like, he did, like, 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to clown on it too much because, in all fairness...
It's not terrible for, like, a Disney movie in the 90s. It's standard, but it's...
True, true. But
I liked a lot of the Disney movies in the 90s. Like, I really enjoyed The Mighty Ducks and Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Like, there's... You
liked Honey, I Blew Up the Kid and not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I mean, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids,
okay,
sorry.
Thank God.
I read the wrong one.
Whew.
Yeah, I didn't see Blew Up the Kids, actually. I didn't see that one. There's some that I really enjoyed.
Right. On the one hand, it does seem a little much for me to really clown on this movie. But on the other, I never really liked these types of movies. I thought Mighty Ducks was... I thought Mighty Ducks was okay.
Where is your heart? The Mighty Ducks is so heartfelt and, like... just sweet and
just like all the rest.
I know, that's
just
why
like
you watch
all the
them.
rest.
That's the point of them.
Okay, yeah.
You can put them in a bucket and be fine with that.
Yeah, I put them in the bucket of these are the crappy Disney movies I no longer watch anymore. Okay. It's in that bucket.
All right, continue with your slaughter.
This is not going to be an absolute slaughter. This is going to be like... It's more of a tacit agreement as to why I get this is so popular. But on the other hand, it keeps that formula so tight that the small differences that Hocus Pocus has on the rest of them really just drowns out, like, because the formula is just so apparent in this. Mm-hmm. Before that, we're not going to have a spoiler section. We're going to do light spoilers throughout the film, throughout the review, but honestly, if you've seen one of these Disney movies, you've seen them all, so you know.
And I'm sure the majority of the world has seen this film except for you. So
unless you're like, you hate paganism, then, oh my God. The one thing that these films always have, I'm thinking like First Kid, Blank Check, things like that, is it has a main character that is just insufferable. Like, just a dick, okay? And you're supposed to empathize with this kid, and also, I want to be this kid, he's got these adventures, and it's like, oh, this guy's a dick. Why are we watching this guy? Like, so the main character, I think, is insufferable. But the other thing that these Disney films have is that there is always a supporting character that is immensely likable, and is always a character like, oh, why isn't this person the main character? And in this film, it's Danny, who's played by a very young Thora Birch.
Yes.
I love Danny in this movie.
Oh, good. I like her, too. She's cute.
She's cute, and she has some of the most questionable lines in this movie. Like, yeah, like, I think, honestly, if there's something that makes this film watchable, it's Danny. I love Danny in this movie, but she's really not the main focus. She's just the color commentary throughout the entire film. While you're supposed to be watching, was it Max, go through everything that he did? Yes. Okay, let's just get into it. Anytime they clowned on Max, I was like, yes, thank you.
I must say, yeah, I didn't really love his calendar. I felt like he was just like a stand-in almost, just like I don't know, he wasn't good. The way they wrote his character, I didn't like it.
Well, no, because they felt kids wanted to be the cool guy who says the cool thing, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's an out-of-towner, and people are like, who's this mysterious kid? And da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
And they wanted somebody who the kids can identify with, but also is kind of a dick, because being a dick was cool back then, I guess.
Yeah, technically back then in the 90s, that's kind of how it was, unfortunately.
It kind of was how it was. But then what I did like about this film is that almost every character clowns on this kid, okay? Like when he lights the candle and and Danny's like, yeah, it was lit by a virgin. Yeah.
And he's just looking at her like, yeah, okay, no.
Yeah, I know. Okay, thanks.
That's funny.
I think this is kind of why I like Danny so much, because I hate Max, and Danny does anything to just make it embarrass him, and I love it. I'm like, oh, yes. Do it more, Danny.
Like, it's like you said, he's like the standard. Like all the Disney films at
that time. Yeah, absolutely. Like totally insufferable kid that you're supposed to sympathize with. And
well, I was just reading about this film a little bit, and things that you might not know about it, but I guess Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be up for that role, but then he went and did, what is it called? Here's What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yep.
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting. I was like, I feel like
good for him.
I liked that film too, but
yeah,
I just never knew that.
That got Leo's first Academy Award nomination. So.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. But, yeah. God.
I wonder how he would have been in this film, though. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's just, like, the way the character's written, too, though, you know?
No, yeah. It's definitely with the way the character's written that wouldn't help. You could have had any actor in there, and basically it would have been exactly the same. Yeah. And Leo can't play insufferable very well. So...
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is when he was older. He was really good in Django Unchained. So,
I love that movie.
Yeah. So maybe I'll pass on that one. When we're going back into...
So we hate Max. This is Wiz's... We hate Max. Danny's awesome. Yes. What else you got for characters?
Allison is basically the stereotypical love interest in this movie. Girl next door, white, blonde, very pretty.
Along for the ride.
Eventually, she falls in love with the main character, which I find incredibly surprising, because the first time that she finds out that he's into her is when Danny says, yeah, he likes your yabos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
I think it's so funny. And but then Allison doesn't even blink an eye. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, I do have nice yabos, thank you. I was like, wait a minute.
I watch this every year, and I actually forgot. Like, I always forget that part, and I was like, wait, what?
I know.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Like, honestly, I think this was like 20 minutes in the film. I'm like, oh, it's one of these films. Shit. I mean, why did Kimmy just choose this? And then that scene comes, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, things are getting interesting.
She does. Now that you say that, she does have some really good one-liners.
Oh, Danny?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
I was like, Kim, no.
Oh, my God.
Whoever casted Thora Birch in this, thumbs up, because if somebody else played her that couldn't do this, she would have been just as insufferable as Max. Thora Birch, does a really good job here. And Thora Birch has done good roles later on as well. She was the teenager in American Beauty, and she did this really good movie that I really like called Ghost World, which I thought was a very good film by Terry Zwigoff. So we've gotten to the main characters. Let's go into the title characters, which are the Sanderson sisters.
No.
No,
No. What are you going to say about them?
They're fine.
I think they're really good.
They're fine. I mean,
like, come on, Bette Midler's performance in this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Why are you saying
It's fine. It's fine. It's vintage.
She's got all the hand mannerisms.
Sure.
I mean, like, they look great. I think the writing isn't bad for them. And
that I will disagree with.
well, the only thing I did notice now that I knew I was going to be reviewing this film, I like paid even extra attention to it when I watched it last night for like the 100th time. I noticed like some of the lines that they give, like as you get towards the middle to the end of the film, does not depict that they're from like the 1900s.
Right.
So like there was like a part where Max is driving and the witches are on their brooms and they're up alongside of him and he's like, oh, like, I want to see your driver's permit or something like that. I'm like, how the hell would she know that?
Right.
But little things like that I was kind of noticing. So I guess in a way you're right.
Well, that's common in these films too, from Disney.
Right.
It's just the theme is like just the theme, and they don't go deep into it. Like and there's always pop culture references sprinkled throughout the film that aren't too edgy, but parents will understand, and maybe some older kids too. And
yeah, because like towards the beginning of the film when they come back, but then they have some references where that they wouldn't know, that they're in the 1990s, where they see like a paved road and they're like, what is this? And they're like, oh my God, it's like a black river of death or something.
Yeah.
And then they throw in, the other witch in, and then they're like, oh my God, it's not. So it's like, I don't know, like, I think that, like, it gets a little confusing, but at the same time, like you said, I understand why they throw things in based on just what that type of movie is.
Right. And it's clever when they did that with the road, but then, like you said...
it was funny, yeah.
Yeah, but then they just don't follow through with it. Like, it's
and I'm like...
But, like, I'll defend this on one hand. Okay, on one hand, do you really want to spend 30 minutes with them trying to figure out where they are, how things work, and everything?
No, that's true.
Okay.
That's why I was like, well, that's probably why they didn't dive into it.
On the other hand, I think you're right, too, because then it just seems kind of weird where they're making pop culture references while they've been dead for 300 years. That's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, like, you don't have to talk about some of these driver's permit. Like, put a different line in there. You know what I mean? Like... I don't know, it just seemed weird to me.
Right.
They could have written it a little differently, that it still would have had the same effect, but it wouldn't be as confusing.
Yeah. But also, this film doesn't take itself seriously, so...
Yeah, that's true.
So in that instance, like, you can say, like, oh, well, it's a comedy, it's not supposed to take it too deeply, you're not supposed to take it too seriously, which, okay, that's true, too. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but... The sister I liked the most was Sarah Jessica Parker.
Really? I think she does a really good job in this.
I
personally like them all, but
they're fine. Like, Bette Midler is essentially Bette Midler in this. She sings, she has the mannerisms, but she just sounds funny. That's all, and looks funny. That's it. It's Bette Midler.
She plays a good witch. I feel like you have to remember, like, they're witches, right? Like, I feel like she plays a pretty good witch, like that spooky, scary, eerie feeling, like the way her like face contorts and like looks, and I don't know, like I just think she does a good job with it.
I think she's overacting to a great degree, but it's fine. Like it's fine for what the movie is to me.
Okay,
Kathy Najimy is kind of, Kathy Najimy's fine. I actually like Kathy Najimy, but
I don't know her. What else is she in?
She's been in, like, movies like Rat Race. She did some TV.
Oh, I like that movie. That's a fun
movie. She's fine. Like she's an actress that if she's in it, that's fine. If she's not, okay. Like that's just.
Oh yeah, now I remember who she played in Rat Race.
Yeah, but like,
she's good. She's like a good like supporting actress. Like
Sarah Jessica Parker is like pure fucking energy in this movie. She's like
she's so funny.
Christ.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, like. And yeah, she's the stereotypical dumb sister blonde in this, but like
dumb sister blonde witch that's like just like sexual. She's like like
okay,
not over the top, just a little bit.
Let's go over how horny this movie can be, okay? which is the thing. I was like, wow, this movie's horny. No wonder people like this so much. Well, there's one scene in the film where the witches get on the bus, and literally.
She's sitting in his lap.
Oh my God.
So funny.
But what about the line of, "Oh, we're looking for children"? It's like, "Give me some time." I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Good Lord."
That's so funny. Oh, I forgot about that one.
Maybe what's funny about this is that I think most people don't pay attention to this stuff, but if certain people did, they would get angry about this and want this film banned.
Because it's supposed to be for children. Yeah.
Yeah. But
in the 90s, again, it was like...
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It really did not matter.
Because a lot of times, like, the kids wouldn't even understand it either. Like, they'd just be like, huh?
Right. Very true. Very true. This movie, in certain circumstances, is, like, really horny. And I'm watching this going, what?
And it talks about how, you know, like, the zombie that was, like, cheating on Winifred, which is Bette Midler, with Sarah Jessica Parker. I mean, again, like, kids don't understand that, but, you know, we as adults do, and it's just funny. I don't know, there's some really good scenes in there. There's, like, when they're dancing with the devil, like, the devil guy, that's a funny... Oh, God. That whole scene is really funny.
Carrie and Penny Marshall. Jesus.
Yeah, but it's, like, you know, a little sexual, too, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a few other, you know... She's always talking about boys. Oh, it's a boy! Like, you know, it's just... It's interesting. But no, I do think Sarah Jessica Parker was good in this.
Yeah, I liked her in this, too. I am kind of softening a little on. I honestly, when I watched it, I was like, okay. Like, I didn't hate it, but I definitely got out of it going, oh, I'm glad this is over. But, like, now I can see, like, okay, there are some good things about this, but I don't think it really gives me enough to recommend it. You know what I mean?
Really?
Really, yeah.
Like not even for just the Halloween season?
You really want to ask somebody like me about the Halloween season?
Yeah, but like I know like for you don't, like for Halloween, like you're not really into like heavy gore or like horror. But you like some, you know, like The Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't throw this into that bucket?
I think Nightmare Before Christmas is okay. I watched Beetlejuice for the first time this week, and I really liked that. That was a good movie.
That is a good movie.
I guess if you like Halloween, you already do watch this. I mean, is my thing. Here's what I find kind of annoying about, like, people get mad when critics review kids' films. Because on the one hand, like, they'll dogpile on a critic and go, why are you reviewing a kid's movie? Like, it's for kids. Why are you giving it a bad grade? Why don't you just think about it for kids? Well, that's not the point of the critic to do that. The point of the critic to say, this is what I like and don't like, and here's why. It's not to be like, oh, I don't like this, but yeah, some kid might like it. I don't know, because I don't know your damn kid.
Right.
So
well, I was going to ask you, like, let's say, hypothetically, let's say you had children. Would you let them watch this film?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
would you recommend it to your children to watch? That's a good way to put it.
Yes. However, I would have to speak to, let's say, like the more, I don't know, the more inquisitive and talkative of my kids to go, okay, never tell anybody you like their yabos. Okay, never.
Okay, there you go.
Don't do that.
Yeah. That's true.
And then if a bus driver wants you to sit on his lap, run.
No, definitely not.
And if you see Bette Midler, definitely run.
Oh, poor Bette.
Oh, yeah. Bette is going to be so heartbroken. Oh, God. That woman will excoriate anyone who even talks the slightest bad about her, and she has no problem doing it. That's why I love Bette Midler in her way.
Let's also talk about, there is a little bit of horror in this film. Like there's, I don't know if you would categorize it as horror, but like the very beginning of the film when they hang them. Yeah. I was like if I was a kid, I'd be like, what the hell is this? You know,
yeah.
But then again, I did watch this as a kid and I didn't question it.
Right.
And then, you know, the zombie coming out of the grave, that's a little scary. You know,
sure.
As a kid, I thought that was a little bit scary.
Yeah. I mean, there is macabre in this, but it's done so lightly that it's kind of like what Disney does with all of their animated films based off of literature. Like, if you actually read The Little Mermaid as it was written, it is very different. It is like really different. This is kind of the standard thing that Disney did in the 90s. They took a property or a season or whatever and say, okay, let's make it clean for everybody. This is kind of standard thing with Disney. The only problem with the Disney films when they're not as good is that they don't add depth to it. They just say, oh, we're just gonna scrub the nastiness away, and then there you go. And I don't think Hocus Pocus does that necessarily. It adds a little bit here and there, but just for me, it's not enough. It's just like, okay, well, one character in this film is one I like, and that's it. Like, Allison is kind of like, okay, whatever. You're just you. You're just the stereotypical love interest, and I can't stand Max. And then
what about like the guy that played the voice and Zachary Banks? I liked the relationship to Danny. I liked that.
I also thought the animation for the cat was horrendous, but
well, it's the 90s. What do you want?
yes, okay, yes.
Come on.
I will give it that. But like the minute he was like talking, I was like, ooh, it's like that's gonna be bad.
But like when I was a kid and I saw that, and then I was like, that's so cool. Like there wasn't a lot of films like that. That were popular that we watched. You know?
Sure. No, that's true. That's true. The criticism that you gave about the screenplay when it came to having references from there, I think applies also to Banks in a certain way, because he kind of loses his English, his old English accent and affectations halfway through the film.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that, but you are right.
Which again, like
it's whatever. Like if we were gonna dive deep into this, we'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah, but like again, and this is kind of what I find reviewing these movies kind of annoying. Because on the one hand, these are valid criticisms, but on the other hand, it's a kids' movie.
Matter for this film?
Yeah, it's a kids' movie. So we'll listen to this and go, it's a kids' movie. Just lay off, like whatever. Like, but kids are pretty fucking intelligent. They can see those things too. Yeah. So it's not
sometimes they can, depending on their age and stuff. Yeah.
And honestly, if a kid watches this and they say, well, this sucks, they should be in the Mensa program. Honestly, there's something intelligent in them. It's like,
no, I'm kidding. Cute. But no, I mean, I like the story too. I think they did a good job with like the actual plot and story.
Sure. Again, like, what are we talking about with the story? Are we talking about the story of the sisters, or are we talking about the main story, which is of Max and being in a small town,
like,
getting bullied?
Of, like, the witches, like the sisters.
Because really the story is about Max in this. The sisters are basically background noise, because the main character is Max and him going through everything in that town. Because that's the main story, and I think
I don't love that. I don't love that. But I do love how they incorporate witches into what's happening in his life on Halloween. I like the beginning of the film and how it goes into back in the 1900s and how they became and how they came back and this and that. Like I like that part of the story, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, but it's smashed into this really, really stereotypical Disney film that were made in abundance around that time. And the formula got stale pretty quick. Like
I feel like it probably does better now than ever before, because again,
are we going to have the same criticism of the films nowadays kind of suck?
Yeah, but again, I think like you said, you really hit home when you talk about it centers around Halloween. That's like the biggest thing. Like if this film didn't have that, then it would be forgotten in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Like if it was just about kid moves to a new town and falls in love with an ex-girl, and
the sister's like cute but kind of annoys him sometimes. It would be like, and the parents are like, you need to just get used to this town. Like it would be just stupid. Like
no, it would be. But here's boring. The thing also, like these films didn't stop getting made. They are just now on the Disney Channel and on Disney Plus.
You don't see them a lot. Yeah,
you don't see
segregated.
Them. And then on top of that, with how marketing and how focus group the Disney is, they've been whittled down to a certain formula that they all follow, and it's really insufferable now. Like I watched one.
Well, I was gonna say, would you rather watch one of these from the 90s or now?
I would rather shoot myself on both instances.
No, you have to pick one.
Well, honestly, I
90s,
have this little clicky gun.
Definitely
right here.
90s.
And is there poison I can drink?
Oh my God! I told you, one or the other.
Okay, fine. The 90s, sure.
90s,
yes.
Yeah.
I have a certain affinity for Sinbad. I don't know. Fine, I'll go for the 90s ones. But I just, on the other hand, I get why people enjoy this film. Like I get it, but like,
'tis the season.
For me, honestly, it felt like the writers from Full House made a Disney film about Halloween, and to me,
that's a good way to put it.
Right, and it's why exactly I just did not like it, because I never liked Full House.
But I also love Full House, so there's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you one of those people who unironically watched Fuller House and enjoyed it?
I watched Fuller House. I got into a few episodes, and then I was kind of like, this is boring me and kind of sucks. I started off liking it, and then I just kind of got bored with it and stopped watching.
I have people that are full-blooded adults, they have kids, and they unironically say that Full and Fuller House are their favorite TV shows of all time.
I wouldn't say that's my favorite TV show of all time.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but I wasn't,
Yeah.
I just watched a lot as a kid because it was what was on.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
like I wouldn't go back and rewatch Full House now as an adult. Like,
yeah.
I could, whatever.
I think the thing is, like, as much as I do hate Full House, I did watch a lot of Full House. And the reason why was there was nothing else to do. Like,
right. Like, that's what was on.
Like, yeah. So, like, if it's on, like, oh, there's Step by Step. And there's
Comes before Full House.
Yeah. And then, there's Family Matters. Oh, he's wearing jeans this time. Oh, boy. Yeah. Like, there's Urkel wearing jeans. I don't know why. Yeah. This is crazy.
It was just like the formula of films and, kids' films and TV shows at that time. And again, for Halloween, this Hocus Pocus is comfort food for a lot of people.
So let me ask you something, okay? If you watch this in, say, June, do you think you'd have the same feelings about it?
No.
No? Okay, well,
there you
go.
Probably not.
Because I had that question, too, when I saw It's a Wonderful Life, and I really liked it. But I saw it during the Christmas season. And I was like, all right, maybe I should watch this in 6 months and see if I still like it. I did.
That's a good idea.
And you know what? I really liked it. It was really good, I thought. Even though
I think I would still think it's cute in June, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's Hocus Pocus. Like, I really want to watch it. Like, I'd be like, okay, yep, that's Hocus Pocus. Like, it's just different. It's a different feeling when you're watching something that is catered towards a holiday.
Right.
Near that holiday.
But it's a film that I think it utterly relies on that. And it relies on that thing that you are in that mood to watch a Halloween movie.
Correct.
And for someone like me who does not like Halloween, a lot of its charms that I think people are charmed by do nothing for me other than it's Bette Midler, all right.
Yeah, that's true. Like, because of your dislike of Halloween.
Well, you're from Massachusetts, so you guys hang people on the regular.
Well, again, like, I can drive to Salem, Massachusetts, where this film was shot in like 20 minutes and like visit all the scenes. Like, it's cool, like to say like, oh, it's right near from where I was from. And again, that's how you have the tie to it. But
that's true.
I think we got into performances, directing.
Writing, we've gotten
writing.
I think the only thing we can say about directing is it is a standard Disney movie from the 90s. That's it.
I do agree with that. I agree with that.
Like, there really isn't much to go by there. It is standard. That is about it. It's not ugly, but it is very much invokes of that time.
Yes.
So, yeah. That's it. That's all we can do. All right, you want to get to final thoughts?
Sure.
All right, go right ahead with your nostalgia-ridden review.
So, I'll give it a 3.5,
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not going to give this a 4 or 5 just because I liked it as a kid. It'll always have a place in my heart.
Oh, yes.
Because of the nostalgia, the tie to Salem, Massachusetts. I personally really liked Bette Midler in this film and Sarah Jessica Parker. And I think all the witches did a really good job. I do think Max is annoying. I agree with you there. Danny is super cute. Like, it's fine. The acting's fine for what it is. Overall, I think the story's fine too. But for me, it all has to do with the season, right? The season of fall in New England. we have the leaves falling off the trees. We get a lot of leaf peepers up here. Salem is close to my home. It's just that feeling of home for me around Halloween. And again, you made a very good point. If I watched this in June, I don't think I would feel the same. So it is very holiday driven for me anyway. So 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. I'm going to give it 2 out of 5. Look, I mean, I can
You don't
understand.
like Halloween though, so there's that.
Sure, yeah. I understand that this is for kids, and I understand that there's a certain nostalgia to this movie, that people that really like Halloween. Yes, Kim, I do not like Halloween. That kind of thing really...
that plays a small portion, I think.
Right. But I don't like hockey either, and I like the Mighty Ducks. So...
Okay, so
yeah,
there's that.
So there you go. So it doesn't work 100%, Kim, there.
Mm.
There are pluses to this film. I think Thora Birch is really good in this. I like the character of Danny. I like her because the one-liners are great. The actress herself is charming, and she clowns on Max constantly, which I thought was great, because that kid deserved it. I hate it.
Yeah, he was pretty annoying.
Yeah. The character of Max is pretty annoying. The character of Allison is kind of like whatever. You're just there to be there, whatever. And the sisters are fine. I like Sarah Jessica Parker the most out of the 3, but they're not bad. Like, they're just, okay. Other than that, it is a standard Disney film from that time. And these are the type of films that I just did not like that much when I was younger either. It's 2 out of 5. It's not terrible, but yeah, like not.
And you said you wouldn't recommend it
for people my age or people think like me. No, I would not. If you're,
I would recommend it for people that are trying to get into the like Halloween spirit, I guess, and that aren't really into like gore and stuff.
Sure. The only problem is that it's so corny that it's kind of antithetical to the holiday season.
Or like
when
you
you're
said,
a kid,
like we were saying, like, oh, like you could watch it with your kids.
Sure, like
Yeah.
if it's like your kids and stuff, like I would say, yeah, give it a shot. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But like if it's
But
like
if you're just like a single man, like living in a bachelor
Yes.
pad, like you're not going to turn on Hocus Pocus.
yeah, definitely.
Unless you're my husband, but
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus, and watch it for the first time.
Wait,
right?
time out. Your husband has a bachelor pad?
Well, no.
Are you guys? Wow, you guys are.
If he ever did.
Yeah. Oh God. I was gonna say I'm learning more about your. I'm learning more about your relationship.
His response to that would be like, "Oh, just you wait." Asshole. Oh, I love.
Got my house. Put my hand down my pants. Now it's Hocus Pocus time. Yeah.
That bus driver had it right the whole time. Oh,
I love me some Bette Midler. Hooey.
No, but I mean, I think I would recommend it to watch with your kids.
Sure.
And if you've seen it before and you have that nostalgic tie to it, then go ahead and rewatch it.
Yeah, but you're not going to be nostalgic for something you hate. You're going to be nostalgic for something you like. This
is true.
I'm not nostalgic with the time that someone pantsed me, okay? That's just not how it goes. Okay?
Okay, so Wiz says no. I say yes.
Yeah. 2 stars out of 5 for me on Hocus Pocus. 3.5 out of 5 for Kim. If you know your kids are into Halloween, I think this is kind of a no-brainer, I would say. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that, at least.
For sure.
But, there are...
Because, again, it just depends on when you grew up, if you have kids or not. Like, I watch the movie every year. Every year at Halloween, I watch it. I just throw it on. Like, I don't even think about it. I'm just like, yep, Halloween, watching Hocus Pocus. It's just what you do.
But there's things as well that people don't seem to realize. There are kids' movies that adults will really like. I mean, Shrek is one of them. Like, anything Pixar.
See, I don't really love Shrek.
Okay, I mean...
Like, I like it, but
there are people who are really like
the green
Shaq.
ogre annoys me. Like, he annoys me.
The main character.
Yeah, I don't like him. I like the other characters, but I don't like him.
You're a donkey fan, aren't you?
No, not even. I think I like the little king. I forget his name.
Farquaad,
and then I like the gingerbread man. Like, there's a few like the supporting characters I like, but I don't like. Even the princess, I don't really like.
Wow, you really don't like anybody in that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. But, there are some kids' films. And if you look at my letterbox and see my 100 favorite films, there's a few kids' movies in there. I mean, God, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, The Iron Giant. Those are technically kids' films, but they are really good in various ways and also are effective with adults too. Like, there are kids films that are meant for kids that really work well on adults as well. And not just because of nostalgia, but because they are actually have very quality writing to it. So,
well, my husband thought this film was like pretty funny. Like, because he watched it with me last night and he hadn't seen it in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I put Hocus Pocus on every year, he's usually at work or not here. I'm just watching it because I enjoy it. And he watched it and he found it really comical. He was like, "Oh, this is pretty funny."
Yeah.
You know, like some parts are really funny from an adult perspective.
Danny is funny. Like, Danny is just like, I will say this though, if Danny was my daughter, I'd be like, "I love you, sweetie, but oh my God, don't."
Stop speaking. Yeah. But again, like even some of like the sexual references he thought were kind of funny.
Oh my.
It's just like, oh my God. Like, he's like, I forgot about this. I'm like, yeah.
I know. That was the thing that was like, I don't remember like Disney films being this sexual. What the hell happened there?
It was funny. Like I don't know, he was like, oh, this is pretty comical. Like,
probably the writer was like, I haven't gotten laid in months. Yeah. Now writing this stupid fucking Halloween movie
I wrote last year. No.
My wife won't have sex with me. Yeah, all the 6-year-olds say yabos. That's right.
Oh my God.
Clark, we can't have the 6-year-olds talking about someone's really massive tits. We can't just have that.
Like,
can't you just like dress it up a little bit? I'll call them yabos then. Yeah. Like, okay, that's fine. God damn it.
It's funny.
It doesn't suck as much as, but it's not that great. I held on to that one. I had that in my head. I had that in my head since yesterday. I'm proud of myself.
Christ.
I'm proud of myself for that. I am.
All right. Should we talk about next week?
Yes, let's talk about next week's film.
What's the theme?
So next week's film, we're going to do films from 2023. We are heading towards the end of the year, and we thought, well, I thought, that we would start watching films from this year because this is around the time where best movies of the year lists come up, Oscar considerations come up, things like that. And even though I don't watch the Oscars, and deep down, I kind of don't like the Oscars very much anymore, I still follow it, and I still am curious as to what gets nominated. We're watching some of the best films of the year, or are considered really good films from this year. And Kim, what was your decision as to what we're watching?
The 2023 film, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
And this is from a book by Judy Blume that apparently is really popular.
Years ago, when I was young, I read the book.
Oh, it's that old.
I mean, Judy Blume has been around forever.
Right.
I didn't remember anything from the book. It was I only read it like once. It wasn't like a book I read repeatedly. But yeah, I'm excited to see this film. It's got some good actresses in it.
Yeah, it's got Rachel McAdams.
Kathy Bates.
Yes. So like there are some good actresses in this movie, and I've heard good things about it too. So I am looking forward to watching this too. All right, so tune in next week where me and Kim review Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, starring Rachel McAdams, Abby Ryder Fortson, and Kathy Bates, directed by Kelly Foreman Craig. I am The Wiz.
And I am Kim Shactman.
Talk to you next week.
Bye. See ya. Bye-bye.